Hello, welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam.
There we go, got it.
You got it.
A little delay.
This is a tutor episode where we try to teach you something new. As my phone goes off.
Love it. All right, babe, what we got?
We wanted to talk about... Well, you had a couple of great ideas on your walk today.
Yep. We'll do problem solving this week.
Okay, I like it.
What do you got?
Problem solving?
Yep.
Well, in every business, there's two different types of people. Opportunity seekers and problem seekers.
Yeah.
And usually the opportunity seeker is to be the one to solve the problems that the problem seeker finds.
That's like the two types of people in life, right? There's like solution-based people and there's problem-based people.
Yep. So, problem solvers are just the types of people that are able to see, like, outside of the box inwards. And they're able to come up with different, ways and ideas to fix, problems, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very... what's a good word for it? Versatile?
Mm-hmm.
Can't be emotional.
It helps to not be emotional.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good... Yes. Go ahead.
I sometimes use emotions in problem solving when it deals with the quality of people.
Oh, yeah.
So if someone's not a good person, I will use my emotions and be like, yeah, dude, I'm not working with somebody who's not a good person.
Right.
So in that realm, I do definitely use emotions.
That's very true. But yeah, problem solving is, it's a skill. We looked it up one time, remember? It's genetic. It can be learned.
Yes.
But problem solve, it's a genetic thing of you either just born with it or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a skill.
Yeah. But you'll never... It said, too, a learner will never be as good as someone who's, genetically born,
mm-hmm.
gifted with it.
Yeah, it's predisposed, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
Genetic, right?
Personality traits.
Yeah. You got to think, though, people that don't practice problem solving, the people that are born not problem solvers and practice it, they're going to be better than the people who don't ever do it.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Same thing with, sales. Some people have the personality to be really good at sales, but they don't ever practice it or sell. And so somebody could go learn that skill and sell better than them.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But if that person was to go put in the same amount of effort and learn sales, that the dude who's not predisposed to sell is fucked compared to him.
Mm-hmm. So, what else? Where do you want to start with problem solving?
So, with problem solving, there's a couple ways to look at it. So, I don't necessarily look for a problem. Yeah. So somehow you got to identify a problem, right?
Right.
And a lot of times I don't really look for a problem.
A lot of times they just come up.
Well, they might come up, but a lot of times I'm trying to think of a solution, but I haven't identified a problem.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of always trying to think of something, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is my problem? I'm just thinking of different shit constantly,
right.
Different ways to fix something that I don't even know if it needs to be fixed, which is kind of tough because a lot of the times I'm like, oh, I should do this or that, or we should change this or do that, and it's like, well, we don't even have a fucking problem, so why am I trying to solve something that's not a problem?
Right. Because that's different than optimizing, right? Because you can optimize a workflow,
mm-hmm.
and there may not be a problem with it, but you're obviously trying to find a solution that doesn't need to be there. I don't know. I always think if it works, then keep it. Obviously, if there's a more efficient way, there's a point where you can start changing things to make them more efficient, but I feel like a lot of companies probably won't be there.
Right.
Or don't get there for a while.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it depends. In that realm, you need somebody who understands, someone who's good at building out systems, has that type of personality to build out systems.
Yeah.
You are way better at building out a system than I am. That is not what I was put on this earth to do.
Nope, it was not.
Yeah. Fuck no. So first thing we got to do is we got to identify a problem. So once we identify the problem, then we can find out then we can look at what's causing that problem, right?
Right.
So we got to find a problem, identify the problem, and then we have to, I guess, boil down to the real problem and not just a symptom.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So a lot of the times, I'll give you an example. You could do like, oh, my problem is I need to plow snow, right? So like I need to plow snow. So that is my problem. But like, what's the big picture? Or like, it's not just the fact, so there's snow, right? So that's the problem. The problem is the snow, and the snow needs to be removed.
Right.
So you just are like, okay, I got to remove that snow. But how do you identify? It's like identifying who's going to remove that snow, or like a deeper picture of it. That's not making any sense.
Nope, that's a terrible example.
Awful example. Okay, let me fucking retry this shit. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're trying to give an example of the root problem, not the symptom, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let me just use my body. This will be the most simple thing ever.
Yep, it will.
All right, so here we go. I have knee pain, right? So I get knee pain. Why do I have knee pain? Well, because my IT band is super fucking tight. Okay, why is my IT band super tight? Well, because I squat, and since I'm squatting, I don't do any sort of recovery. I don't stretch, I don't roll, anything. So from me squatting and then doing nothing for recovery, my IT band gets tight, and then my knee pain hurts, right? So if I'm like, okay, I have knee pain, I need to solve this knee pain, I'm going to take an aspirin or a fucking ibuprofen, right?
Oh, yeah.
That is just masking a symptom, okay? So then I could be like, oh, well, I need to, instead of that, I got knee pain, so I'm just going to roll out my IT band. Okay, great. Roll out your IT band. That's just like, once again, solving a symptom. So I have to then work back to, okay, are my squat mechanics good? So the real problem is I squat. The main fucking problem is I squat. Okay, so if I decide I'm going to continue squatting, maybe I need to fix my form for squats. Maybe I need to warm up better for squats, right? Maybe I need to just stretch for 15 minutes after I work out, right? But that's like boiling it down to the real fucking issue at hand here is not my knee pain, it's the fact that I like squatting.
That was such a complicated example.
Oh, fuck.
Are you ready for this?
Let's hear it, babe. You know, guys, what the fuck am I even doing here?
You're diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
Okay. Oh, fuck. This is beautiful.
So, obviously, with type 2 diabetes, your body's not producing enough insulin. So, they give you insulin shots. But the root of the issue is you're 300 pounds, you're eating shitty food, and if you just cleaned up your diet, lost some weight, you wouldn't need that insulin at all.
Damn, babe. Why didn't you just explain this shit?
I don't know. You were just, as you were going in your rant, I was just like, what's a better example than this? And then I got that.
Love it. Thank you for helping me out.
You're welcome.
Sometimes I'm kind of fucking stupid.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm just the sidekick in this.
So, all right. We identify a problem.
Yep.
We make sure it's the real fucking problem and not just
You find the root cause.
Find the root cause, right?
Yep.
Now we found the root cause. Now we can figure out how to solve it or start coming up with ideas to solve the root cause.
Yeah. I would definitely brainstorm first before you start just...
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Hang him.
Yeah. That's like...
So come up with ideas to solve the root issue.
Yes. Compile, brainstorm a list of good fucking options. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to implement.
Yes.
So once we have a list of options, take the fucking what seems like the best solution, try that one first.
Mm-hmm. I always get someone else's input.
Yes.
And I don't it doesn't have to be my supervisor. or a different manager. Like, sometimes I'll just ask the regular employees, and I'll be like, hey, here's the issue. This is, like, my 2 things that I have for solutions. Which one do you think will work better? Because a lot of times it's, like, probably some part of the system that involves them. So, obviously, you should probably get someone's input that's actually doing the work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I highly suggest getting feedback and then implementing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's good. Mm-hmm. And then review.
Yes.
So, did what the fuck you come up with, did it actually work or not?
Right. And, like, schedule out a time to review it. So, like, you could do a review after 1 month and be like, okay, this is still working fine. And then you could be like, okay, let's review again at the 3 month after implementing. So, 2 months from then. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I mean, keep reviewing it because sometimes it just doesn't work at all. Sometimes it's just, like, little tiny changes you may need. So, it's good to review it often to make sure that it is working well.
Yeah, that's really good. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got that shit down. We ran through the process. Now, how can you go about solving these problems in a strategic manner, in like a proper manner?
Mm-hmm. So, like tips for problem solving?
So, yeah, I guess, tips for problem solving. Dude, you know what? I'm just fucking not in it today.
You are
My
really
brain's mashed taters, I guess. I'm just having trouble coming up with, like, words.
That's okay.
You know? We're just going to keep rolling.
My brain should be mashed taters because I'm the one that made them today.
Truth that. So, tips for solving problems.
Or, like, things to keep in mind while you're doing it.
Yes. So, what Sam said about keeping your emotions out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Shaun brought it up, 2 days ago? And Rob Bailey had it in his coaching call 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About, like, solving, like, our own problems in our lives without our emotions. It's not like, it's just, we gotta keep our personal lives kind of like a business in a way. Because so many times, like, at Robin wrote, Shaun did not like the house because of X, Y, and Z. And I was like, but I love this house. This house was our first house we bought together. Like, I brought emotions to it. So we were never able to solve that problem in a timely manner because I'm the one that brought emotions into it. Shaun was very unemotional with it. Mm-hmm. So he was able to be like, no, we need to get a different house. I mean, and it took probably like a solid year of Shaun telling me to get a different house that we finally got a different house. But it was like at a point where I had to just take my emotions out and be like, yes, you're right. Like, I am being ridiculous. This house does not work for us. It doesn't have like our 5 main criteria points. So why are we holding on to this house anymore? So that's something we have to keep in mind quite frequently with how we problem solve in our personal lives. And the other day, on Rob Bailey's coaching call, instead of having just a vision board, he has a problem-solving board. So, did you listen to that episode?
Kind of. I did, but...
It was at the very beginning of it. But I'm like on the board, he pretty much puts his problems so then he can look at those problems and like every day work out how to solve those issues. Yeah. Or like think about what he needs to do to solve that problem.
Yeah. Yep.
So I thought that was like kind of neat. It's a different way to think about your problems in your personal life or your business too, if you needed. But I feel like once you put it on a board, it's easier to think of it from the outside in instead of looking from it on the inside.
Yeah, that could be. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about it that way, but that definitely could be. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess what I realized the other day was when people bring me problems, I go to work on how to solve them.
Mm-hmm. Very quickly.
Like,
actually.
right away. And I have a very hard time. I now started this thing with Sam And I actually did it with I did it with a friend the other day too. I just go, do you want a solution, or do you just want me to listen? Because when somebody's talking to me and telling me an issue, all I'm doing the whole time is thinking of how to help them solve that issue.
Right, yeah.
And so now I just start clarifying with people, like, hey, are you just venting to me? Which is fine. I'm just going to listen then. Or are you venting to me because you need help?
Right.
And so I started doing that with people so I can kind of turn my brain off and not like waste my brain power, essentially.
Right. That was what happened at Arte, is we met some really nice guys.
Yeah.
And they just told us our problems, and we were giving them like really good solutions.
Yeah.
But then it was just like excuse after excuse after excuse, and we're like, okay, like you just want to vent about like what issues you're having.
Yes.
Like you don't really want the solutions for them.
Yep. Yeah. A couple guys, they were giving problem after problem, and here we're at Arte thinking that these people want solutions. So we're rattling them back, like how to solve all their issues. And they didn't want any of it. They didn't want to hear none of it.
Yeah, they just kept giving us like excuses like, well, I can't do that because of this. Well, I can't do that because of this. I can't do that because of this. And we're like, okay, then why did you even bring it up?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the things are like, yeah, we can't do it because this. And then we're just like, yeah, but our first thing, like if you did the first thing we told you, it would have solved all those things. So anyways, here's a neat scenario. But so that's something I started doing in that realm.
Yeah, it was a relationship advice that we saw. It was like a post that was like, I started doing this with my wife, and it has changed our relationship.
Yeah, we saw that. Danny told us about it too, though.
Did he?
Yeah, Danny was talking to us about like when him and his wife talk, that's the first thing he leads with.
Oh, yeah, he did tell us this, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, hon, do you want me to just hold space for you? Or do you want me to give you a solution? Mm-hmm. And then she'll tell him which one she wants, and then that's how he shows up. So, which I think is awesome. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really smart.
So what I realized a couple days ago is I love solving other people's issues. I love helping people solve problems. That's one thing I really loved about Stable Living, and I miss about Stable Living, because Ryan was really good at finding problems, and I was good at solving problems. So we were a good team when we worked together in that realm, and I miss that. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking about how I can do my favorite thing, solving problems, in my life, or like what can I do with that, right? And I realized, like a dum-dum head, that I've got a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of fucking problems. But I look at my problems with emotion.
Yeah.
And so I can never solve my problems because I let emotion come in. And so it was like 2 days ago I was on my walk. I like to take walks with Mimi, usually in a 10-minute one, I can't get, nothing happens in my brain. Mm-hmm. But when I go do like a 30-minute one, about 20 minutes in, my brain unlocks.
One of these times we should really, I should see if I can get the road mics working. And use those. Because Shaun and I have some pretty interesting conversations when we're on our walks.
Yeah, it takes me a while, though, to get in that.
Headspace.
Yeah, so I realized like 2 days ago on my walk that if I write all my problems down, and I did this as soon as I got home, if I write my problems down and I look at it like I'm solving it for a friend or for a business or something, I won't be looking at it with emotion, and I can solve all these problems on paper. Then I just got to put it in my life and say fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I started doing. I just started writing down my issues and started writing down some of the ways to solve some of it. I've got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have personal problems, personal problems, business problems, whatever it is, relationship, family, whatever, write it down on paper or put it on a vision board like Rob was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it without emotion from the outside in, as if you're solving a problem.
Yeah. And give yourself multiple solutions too.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can then, there's 2 partners in a marriage, so obviously you should probably talk to your significant other and make sure that, it works for them and stuff like that. Tell them to be non-emotional about it, but,
Right.
Still, I do like that a lot. It's kind of like a checklist for problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bet you feel so much better because all of those problems then are on paper.
Right.
You don't have to keep thinking about them in your head over and over and over again.
It's like my to-do list.
Yeah.
My to-do list on paper and out of my head.
Yeah.
Problem is now I got it on paper and I fucking don't even think about it half the time. It's like, whatever. And then I'm like, fuck. I got to review that thing more often.
Yeah, just make a conscious effort of, reviewing it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to print it out, put it in with my weekly plan or my daily planner.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just have the page behind. And so then I can review it constantly.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That works.
And then I can just be like, okay, what tasks am I on this thing can I get done this week? Do. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you have any extra time, you can be like, okay, is there something on my problem list I could solve?
Right. Yep. So, anyways, that is problem solving.
Yeah.
So, number 1, identify the problem.
Yep.
Make sure it's the actual problem, so the root problem. Come up with ideas. Brainstorm on multiple ideas, multiple solutions. Implement the best solution first. And review to see if that solution's working or not, if you need to move on to the next one.
Review and reevaluate.
Yep. Then the tips were non-emotional. Look from the outside in. Write the problems down. And if it is with somebody else, ask them if they would rather you hold space and just listen, or if they're looking for a solution.
Yeah. I love it, babe.
Sweet. Hey, guys, sorry for all the, middle part where I was not smart.
You got there. You got there in the end.
Got there, man. That's what matters. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.